morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, USA. How y'all doing today?
Hey, everybody.
Me either. I don't.
Hello, everybody.
Oh, there we go.
There it is.
It's a bad
There it is.
mama jamma. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. We are here. We are here. We are here. How are y'all doing
Hey, hey.
today? How are y'all doing today?
Nice.
Good.
I am doing good.
Good. Fresh off the Boston Carnival weekend. Worcester Carnival.
Yeah?
Everybody got to eat all the things.
Yeah.
All the things. Next up is our new edition in them.
New edition weekend coming
Yeah,
up.
man.
Yeah? Yeah?
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
So how was y'all weekend?
Our weekend was, this was Carnival weekend. So Carnival weekend is always a big deal here in Boston for, especially at Spark FM, because we love Carnival so much here. So it was a full weekend of things, of events, of all the things. And we will do a quick Carnival recap and see where we land. We use this time to offer you guys a place to call in with your own recap, 617-272-3387. Again, the number is on the screen, 617-272-3387. Come and talk to us about, your Carnival experience. Kicking off with y'all, how was your overall weekend before we go into individual events?
Y'all started with Stray on Friday.
No, I actually started with Carnival kickoff at Sorrel and Lime. And it was just like a little pass through. Like just come and pass through and just kind of get your whistle wet. And, DJ Keston was playing. All the elder baddies was outside, just kind of drinking and having a good time. People were just stopping in and just,
Elder baddies?
Yeah, elder baddies,
Okay.
those that
Battle Access.
still that be outside doing what they gotta do. Like they be outside. So I like them type of people. Those are my girls. So yeah, it started off then, and you could I feel like even before that, the vibes were starting to build a little bit with the trucks. The Juve truck people, they started to do like a little online battle type of thing. So it's getting people excited about they said the echo, young man. It's getting people excited about the carnival. So it was a nice little prelude, a nice little attempt to get people back on the right track.
It felt pretty festive.
Yeah.
I could say it hasn't felt like that in quite some time.
And then Friday morning we did do Strike after we left the show. Strike was very, very good. It was a good time on Strike.
And I think I've never had a bad time on Strike.
Yeah,
and that's
I've
what
never
I
had a bad time on a
value
strike.
about that.
That's true.
I really value that type of thing.
Yeah, it was cool. It was really good. I had a great time on Strike. And then we left Strike, and they had something. Oh, there was a sip and see here at Spark FM, if anybody was able to come through. Pit stop. And then Friday evening, we went to Sorrel and Lime. Problem Child was there. That was, again, a good time. That was a good time in Sorrel and Lime.
That was a good time. He performed for a while, too.
Yeah, it was nice.
But
I had a good time there.
You know what was interesting about that is that I didn't even necessarily need him to perform.
Yeah.
The vibes in Sorrel and Lime on Friday night to really set off Carnival were already there.
Yeah.
Like the DJs really did a good job playing music.
Yeah, man.
I agree.
Yeah, man. I was in my backyard. Shout out to Freeze and Bones and everybody that was there. Definitely started a nice vibe.
Yeah,
and
it
on the boat too. Like really nice music, great playing. I just feel like they pulled out things that they've been holding on to for a while.
Yeah, yep. And then we went by Scoop's backyard for the Lime. We were there for a little bit, sat down and found some chairs and waited there and got some good Sean Trim. What is his thing called? Trini
Chef
Prince. Chef Prince.
Mm-hmm.
So we got some good fried chicken wings and shrimps and French fries there, and that was really nice. And then we went home and we crashed. And then we woke up and we went to Juve. So Juve was, of course, inside of Franklin Park Circuit Drive. Oh, look, when I jiggle this, everything gets better. So it was in there, and Juve was a time. Juve was a time.
So tell us about Juve. Why do you say it was a time? Describe Juve for those who might have
Juve was
listened.
just trucks and t-shirt bands, and And of course, that's what Juve is, I guess, now. There was one rhythm section. Shout out to Tempo. They did their thing with their little bush tea that they brought out. That was cute. And it was just, the trucks, there were some good sounding trucks. There was definitely crowds. Shout out to all the Juve bands who did their thing, because there was a little crowd behind each band.
I believe there were about maybe 10 Juve trucks, probably.
I think so.
Like 10. I don't know all of their names, but starting from the beginning, we got there when they were just taking off the road.
Yeah.
It is a new road too. That's a lot of you were a little bit confused about that. It has moved off of Talbot Ave, and this is the second year down Circuit Drive, starting from the Shattuck and going towards Franklin Park. And what do you guys think about the route?
I love that route.
I like it.
Why do you like it?
Feels like you're back home, inside the bush.
You know what I like about it? I like that it's contained and it's all just right there. Everything is just right there. It feels safer. It's right there. It's not this all of whatever. I think it's better for the businesses in the area too. Like, they're able to still conduct their business. Blue Hill Ave is not shut down, so we're not shutting down a major thoroughway for that part of the day, which I think is also really good. But I just like the containment, and I think it feels like, Miami Carnival is my favorite thing, and Miami Juve is my favorite thing in the world. They do it inside of the park, inside of that park, and I like that it's like an inside thing. Maybe Boston should make Juve that type situation.
And that's how I feel.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, with this new Juve route, I feel like it is now its own attraction.
Yep.
It now feels like something that even if I didn't care to go to Carnival in Boston, I would go for the Juve part. Like how people travel for like an SSS, some red or blue or whatever it is.
Yeah.
I feel like our Juve can really kind of hold its own now. Again, this is from the innovation of the young people in the city.
Yeah.
That have this, no matter what, they are going to put this product on the road. I do feel like it does have a long way to go before it's something that I would still invite people to, because it needs to be
streamlined.
It needs to be streamlined. It needs to actually have some type of organization. And I feel like the bands, however ambitious that they are leaving so much money on the table by not educating the greater population about what Juve is and why you should buy a package.
Yep.
What I heard from people is that people were asking, oh, you got to pay for Juve. You got to pay for Juve. No, you can go and spectate. And that's what it was used to be. You could go and spectate. But you do have to pay to be in a band. And it's not just you paying to get into Juve. You get food. You get drink. You get a costume. You get a party.
Yeah.
Within yourself.
Yeah. I wouldn't mind them making Boston Juve exactly like Miami. If you're only pay it's $75 to get in if you're not joining a band. If you're in a band, then it's whatever, and you get all of those things. But if you're not joining a band, it's $75 to get in, and people be in there. And it's a good time, and I think that's what we should do. But I'm not mad at that at all.
Yeah.
I like Juve. The only thing I'm going to say is I think the police can do a little better work with trying to figure out how to separate the bands. They didn't have really a system. They were just standing in front of the trucks and just kind of shooing people away.
Yeah. The only bad thing about Juve was all of the fights. There was a lot of fights. It didn't take away from what Juve was, though, because the police did a great job of containing those fights fairly quick for the few that we saw. They were able to scoop the people up real quick and whatever. So that was good. But I think Juve, like Sauce said, has the potential to be a really great product for Boston Carnival, and it should be, because Carnival is a mess.
Carnival is a dumpster fire.
It was.
So after Juve, we did see the one incident, the one real incident that involved a gun.
Yeah.
We did see the police chasing somebody down the street and did actually see the gun that was out there.
Yeah.
Again, that is more so of a reflection of the product that is being put out. I'm almost certain that people who went out there to have a good time and to participate in Juve were not the people out there shooting.
Yeah.
Because after Juve, you would have been too tired and drunk to even think about who you got beef with.
Yeah.
And we saw that, because if you were in Juve tired and drunk, if you did have beef, you just got to swinging on someone and started a fight, and then you would run into the crowd and disappear and start whining on a gal.
Yeah.
That's in and out. Punch you in the face, come out and dance.
So with the melee, was that young people? What was the age
Yeah.
group?
Yeah, and
It was all young people.
and not West Indian people.
Yeah, like probably 18 to about 23. Because what was happening was a lot of underage drinking. That's I've seen that. I've seen that review across many boards. Like a lot of underage drinking. That's another place that people thought that the police could have kind of, made their presence a little bit more hardcore. Like there was a lot of babies out there that was definitely cooked and falling down all over the place. So,
That's one of my main concerns right there is that I love the Juve. Now we have the addition of the music trucks. My only thing that I fear is that the music trucks are going to encourage each year for more and more and more young people. And then the instrument trucks, like the traditional instruments, are going to die out.
Well, that's what it is. The traditional implements have officially died out because other than tempo, there was not one iron, spoon, pan, rhythm. There was none of that apparent.
Yeah.
There was none of that there. Yeah. And we can compare it to a Miami because they don't have that either if we want to. So I feel like, but I think that Miami also understands that there's a different part that is coming with those things.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Shout
out to Jab. Jab had a good time, and they Spice Mass. They did really, really well. Shout out to Get Dutty. Wow, that was overwhelming.
Get Dutty.
That was overwhelming even to the young people. The little girl was like, I had to come out of that.
She's like, it's too much.
It's too much.
And then we didn't know what she was talking about.
Yep.
So as we were proceeding to watch the festivities and, to find the vibe and things like that, we saw this mob coming towards us. It was a mob of people. Yeah. And it was the Get Dutty truck. Their truck was built beautifully. Their sound was impeccable. Yeah. And they took the crowd.
Yeah. This is Carnival.
This is Juve. This is Get Dutty truck.
Not SSS?
No.
Nope.
Oh,
no.
Okay.
SSS, it didn't give what I thought it was supposed to give.
Yeah.
I was looking for, and maybe that was my fault because we're coming from a mud band era.
Yeah.
If you're going to SSS mud something, I expect that the mud is going to be overwhelming on. I left Juve pretty clean.
Yeah.
It was my first time in my life.
As we were leaving, somebody put some white paint on me, and that was it.
Yep, on my legs or something like that.
Juve.
It was Juve was. Where was the paint?
Yeah.
Where's the powder? We're in the secluded place and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
I just felt that there should have been more. And the mud. If we're gonna call it mud, it needs to be muddy.
Yeah, I think they only did the mud at the beginning, is what I heard.
That's crazy.
At the beginning, and it didn't come up the road. Because we definitely did not get any.
Yeah,
didn't get any mud at all.
No.
No
mud.
But Jab had oil all the way up, and there was goat heads, there was caskets, there was babies, babies, and it was chains. Mm-hmm. It was a little bit of everything. So they did Jab, to the best of their ability here, which I thought that was was good.
Oh, and shout out to you for always being around. And yes, shout out
Owen. Owen, so official.
Yeah. And shout out to one band. Because I think one band might have been the only band that one band and Revelers.
Dawn Revelers.
Dawn Revelers.
Yeah.
Nice truck.
Nice.
Uniformed.
Yeah.
People were in costume. People were in the band.
Yes.
Also very surrounded by people too, like a good sized crowd, good music, good behavior.
Yeah.
I was really excited to see our Boston based bands. No hate towards anybody else's band.
Yeah.
But I was really glad to see that they got a good amount of support.
Yeah, and the truck sounded pretty good for the most part out there. I think they did, what they could, and they sounded pretty good, and it looked good. We did go to Carnival for a little bit. I was at Carnival for a little bit. Saucy was out there for a little while longer, but Carnival is just not what it. I think I saw somebody say Carnival looked like the Walk for Hunger, and it did.
Jordan. Shout out to Larry Jordan.
It did. It just looked like a bunch of people walking the street in t-shirts, and They did have the Dominican band that they rented from Dominican Republic.
I thought they had out of state something.
Yeah,
there was a Dominican.
They rented the Dominican Republic band, and that was their costumes were very pretty. Mm-hmm. But there was about 10 of them. And then I think they rented a band from Trinidad too. I didn't even get to hear them because they weren't playing.
Well, they were. This was the police steel band orchestra from Trinidad.
Yeah.
And they came, I believe they came with a set of masqueraders as well.
Oh, okay.
Those were the ones that was in black and gold.
Oh, okay.
Or was those the Dominicans?
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah.
There was Carnival. I don't know what the hell that is out there.
And that is just not our opinion. Overwhelmingly, people were highly disappointed in Carnival. Overwhelmingly. I think I saw one person who had something, tried to muster something great to say, and we don't care what he has to say anyway. But it was overwhelmingly bad.
You need some water. Yeah.
It's disappointing because there is nothing. I think either we have to come to a consensus that is going to be called something different, like a Caribbean parade. But it's not a carnival.
No.
It's not a carnival by any means. Oh. Having 10 or 15 costumes on the road for a big old carnival for 2.5 miles is absolutely disgusting. And I want to say this. You guys seeing a very insane, large, mob-like crowd in the streets of Boston is not a reflection of a successful carnival.
Yeah.
Let's just put that out there right now.
Yep.
The pictures that we're going to see in the next couple of days is just going to be the streets lined, like the streets, just black people in the streets, period. Yeah. Like it's going to look overwhelming. It's going to look lit. It was nothing.
Yeah.
Prior to that ban, so what happens? What happens is that every band, there was about maybe 4 actual real bands. We're not going to count the empty trucks that just put a truck on the road for absolutely no reason at all because there was nothing for you guys to be on the road about, period. Stop it. There was like 4 real trucks. I stayed next to Suave's truck the whole entire time after I finished walking the scene. Found them. I never moved from that. I had a great time. Let the record reflect. If you saw me on the road, I had an effing great time.
And shout out to Mighty Surge Sound because that truck
is booming.
Bumping.
Yep, absolutely. But there was nobody on the actual street. So like in the beginning, when the mass bands would go down, that is where you would see, like, that's where people would line up in the streets from every place and where. Line up in the streets to spectate and to look at the beautiful costumes. I know that I saw pictures of Michelle Wu walking the whole parade route and whatever. Oh,
and don't forget our Grandmaster Erin Murphy.
She was also there.
That was in poor taste to make the white woman the Grandmaster of the Black Caribbean Carnival.
It's in political taste, you know? I would love to see Erin Murphy write a think piece about the destruction of the actual culture, but, you know, we probably won't get one of those, even though she writes a think piece for everything all the time. But I would like for her to kind of, you know, stop all of the performative foolishness.
Political theater.
Yeah, the political theater. But the streets were empty. And that's how you tell if Carnival was success or not. You have to see feathers. You have to see costume. More than 10, and it has to be pretty for other people that are not there. Everybody that came to Carnival and was behind those trucks were there for the street party because that's what they know. Carnival is on this day. I'm going to go outside. There's going to be nakedness and there's going to be drunkenness and I'm going to go outside and I'm going to have a good time. So yeah, if you were about that mob life and about jumping behind a truck, you had a good time. That's not Carnival. Let's call it what it is. That was trash. Carnival is dead.
Yeah.
It's absolutely dead. And I would debate any single one of anybody anywhere with it. Carnival is dead. And how people are carried, not the real people, but how others politically connected are making this seem like it was such a beautiful display of Caribbean culture. It was not. It was disrespectful. It was absolutely out of order, and I'm offended by you guys saying that that was a good carnival.
Miss Carla D. Kaiser says, I'm sadly going to say that I'm glad I missed it this year. They're just going to push us back to City Hall. And Jamie Gomez says, not a pretty mass as far as the eye could see. It's not just a mobile block party, it's carnival. But it is. It's a mobile block party at this point. You're exactly right about that. And it's sad.
I would like to speak to the importance of that's why it is important for us to stick together when we were trying to save Boston Carnival and have everybody do a boycott. Everybody should have stuck together so they could have took us serious.
Yep.
And we wouldn't be where we're at right now.
Yep.
Yeah.
It was for 1 year. People just needed to not touch the road. Send a hard message, but we couldn't do that. And now we're sitting here begging for crumbs and getting excited over absolutely nothing. And I haven't actually put out a review of it on my own personally because it's been really kind of confusing to figure out how to not sound, miserable. Yeah. But I love Boston Carnival so much. I used to get anxiety waiting for this weekend to come because it was my, Christmas in August. It was a time. What it is now is a large, very large disappointment. And it's hurtful to watch the carnival culture go down like that. It's sad.
Yeah.
It's very sad.
That was not culture at all. It really wasn't culture. And for the people who are out there on the road talking about they're doing it for the culture, you're really not. You're just doing it for optics. You're doing it for show.
And it's not.
It's not for the love at all. And it's really sad. Keisha Spencer says, I agree, Carnival is dead and it's sad. I didn't even make it all the way up to Warren Street. I'm so disappointed in what Carnival has become. And yeah, it's quite disappointing. It's very sad.
Yeah.
It's sad looking and you want to be out there for the culture, but the culture is not in Carnival anymore. And so I'm
And if we were to break it down, because when we hear the other side, I don't know what the other side is. There's only one side of this thing. There are not two different people looking for power. That's not it. So I'm not sure where you guys are coming from there. Yes, there are two organizations. One that has been there for over 40 years. The same thing. Cut and repeat. Cut, paste, copy, repeat. Nothing changes. It's the same thing. That's why it's not that. And they'll tell you, will gaslight you and be like, oh, it's because the cost of the mask is so much to make. Everything costs a lot. Everything in America costs a lot. But why when you go to Miami, Trinidad, Grenada, everywhere, all the time, you trying to tell me that Boston alone is so poor that we can't afford masks, but anywhere you go, each section in a mask has about 400,000 people. And those masks, when you travel, because if you're a Carnival traveler, the cheapest mask you can possibly get somewhere is maybe $450, and you're just getting a bathing suit and a panty. Everything other than that is upwards of $700-800 for a mask. In Boston, frontline masks start at $400. The frontline is the biggest pieces or whatever. You trying to tell me we so broke and poor here in Boston that we can't afford a frontline mask for $400?
Listen,
and that's what the excuse you guys gonna keep giving people?
S. Bell says, I was in St. Lucia Carnival last month and people were asking me someone asked me about attending Boston Carnival. I had to give the truth, which was sad and expressed. It's not worth participating. It was a better brand, perfect opportunity to advertise. And absolutely it is. Because people who travel for carnivals want to go to a carnival in a different place all the time. That's what we do. We go to a different carnival, a different country for carnival each year. And you want to do that. You want to go to Baltimore and you want to go to Atlanta and you want to go to Texas and all of these things. But it's so sad that we cannot tell anybody to come to Boston for Carnival. And I have my American friends calling me and was like, what is Carnival? What's going on out there? I remember when Boston Carnival used to be lit. There used to be all those trucks on buses on Seaver Street. And it's true. People used to come from Canada, from Washington, D.C., from Florida. People were traveling to Boston Carnival all the time. We used to invite our friends from New York. You come down here for Boston Carnival. We're coming to New York for New York Carnival.
I remember one year there were 11 people sleeping on my apartment floor because that's how crazy I was about Carnival. Come to everybody from anywhere that you know me. Come to my house. Lay down on my couch. I will host you. I will buy you food. I will drink you up because I want you to have a time. We used to travel in backs of like 4 cars.
Oh yeah. Not no more.
Not no more. I would never. People be like, oh, I might come for Boston Carnival. For what? What are you going to see here?
Yeah.
What are you doing here?
Yeah.
So for me, it sounds like the main issue is that after a certain time, shout outs to Kakab for holding it down and for all those years. But after a certain time, you got to pass the baton and you got to bring new people in, fresh faces in, and to revamp it. Definitely.
Yeah.
It's sad. It is sad and it is heartbreaking for those of us who, grew up in this culture and knew what it's supposed to be and what it's supposed to look like.
Yeah.
And to be deduced down to one mass band that had a total of 10 masqueraders is insane to me.
Yeah.
And nothing against that mass band. There's no hate, no shout out.
Shout outs and props to her for trying
you did
or
that.
something.
Yeah.
But we appreciate your efforts and we recognize them. You did a great job, but it's just so sad. It's just so sad. There were more cops than masqueraders. It was so very sad. I love Boston Carnival and it pains me to see it die. Says Shay Alexandra, Alex, and what else? We need new carnival committee. Absolutely. We pulled like 3-day all-nighters, and that's true. I remember we could not rest.
No, remember one time we got a high off of
Monster
energy
drinks. Yep.
Could not sleep or sit down if we tried. Like I think we poisoned ourselves that.
Jamie says we not just attendance, but we need participation, and that's exactly the issue. And nobody wants to participate in it because what is it?
I wanted to talk towards the participation too, and that goes into why it doesn't make any sense to bring an actual mass band into Boston under the current situation that we are in. Because why would I participate? If I buy, even if it's $400, if I buy a mask costume for $400, okay, I'm in the band. The band starts out. In the beginning, there's nobody there to see me at all. So I spend all this money, to take a couple pictures? So nobody sees me at all. Nobody's on the road to spectate and to look at my costume. There's only about 8 of us, so I'm not going to do it. Then when I do get up the road where people are, it's now a mob and people still can't see me because now all these little dirty people is inside of the band where I'm supposed to be after I paid $400. I can't get the truck to get my drink. I can't get the truck to get my food. Now I've just wasted $400 at the minimum dollars on a mass here in Boston for nobody to see me, nobody to give a damn, and me not to be able to get my food from the truck, even if there was one. What is the point of me participating? Why would I participate? Why would I spend my money to buy a mask for whoever's doing it in Boston where there's not enough people even spectating to look at me? And when I get to the people to look at me, they're all going to come in and squish me in, box me out. Nobody still sees me. My mask is ruined. I can't wear it nowhere else. Oh my God, why y'all don't see a problem with this? Is crazy. Nobody is saying, I want to take over the carnival. And I've heard that a lot because I've been trolling. I haven't put out whatever, but I've been trolling. And we need to just be positive and take what we can get. Shut up. You shut up with it right now. Take that negative, mediocre, barely average mindset and go sit down somewhere. You don't deserve a voice in this conversation if you're telling people to take what they give you as a culture and be happy about it. There is a such thing as toxic positivity, and a lot of y'all are toxic positivity and or just very uneducated and ignorant. Y'all got to stop that. And I've seen a couple of people from the Carnival Committee. I'm wired up. Seen a couple of people from the Carnival Committee put out these big statements about how it was such a beautiful expression of culture. Y'all should be a damn shamed of the product that you have put out. There was nothing to celebrate, nothing to be happy about. You guys are disgraceful, and I am absolutely saddened by how run down our Boston Carnival is. It is absolutely horrible. Horrible.
What do you think about those bands? Well, I don't want to call them sellouts, but what do you think about the bands that are still participating and not just participating to participate?
They believe for some reason that they are carrying the culture. And I do want to make this note very understandable. I understand what you're trying to do, and I understand the concept of what you're trying to do. Because if I don't do anything, the carnival is gonna die, and then we won't have no culture at all, and whatever. But what you're doing is, when you look at what they're putting out for content after, they're making it seem like they did such a good job because there was so many people on the road that carnival obviously is still alive. So anybody who has a problem with it is just a hater. When you guys know, because the people who are still putting trucks on the road are people who do it for the passion and love of the culture. You guys are doing it for a different reason. They are literally using you for content in order to continue to take away and to continue to murder the actual carnival. And that is just the bottom line. If you look at the news stories that were put out after the fact, they are gorgeous pictures. They got a picture of the Dominican band. They got a picture of Will McCloudon's 6 masqueraders. Love those kids. Love Will McCloudon. They have a picture of, a camo shot of them crossing the stage and stuff like that in a t-shirt. They were very uniform and they look nice, but that is not carnival. And they're going to continue to use those couple of images to make it seem like they have done such a big thing, and they did absolutely nothing. There were still people here in Boston that had no idea that carnival was even happening, because there's no marketing, there's no PR, there's nothing surrounding what a carnival is supposed to be. And you guys should be a damn shame. A goddamn shame. Terrible.
I wanna. If y'all wanna call us up 617-272-3387. Like to hear from y'all. Tony, any more thoughts?
I don't know if there's anything I could say. I think that it has been summed up about how they feel.
I would suggest for next year, it would be nice if those bands that participated this year would hold off on next year, and we could do an official band and we kind of redo this again, because if we keep it going, it's just gonna get worse.
What'd you say?
I think that the people who participated feels like if they don't keep going, they're gonna lose their momentum, and I don't know. I don't know what the solution is or how we could resolve it. I really wish that it could be resolved. I know that my resolution is always like, oh, I know I can travel to someplace else for carnival, but it's really sad that I can't just literally walk out my door and enjoy a carnival.
That you have no desire to walk out your door.
I have none. I have none at all to go to Boston Carnival at all.
I haven't been the last 2 years.
Yeah.
And it was, like I said, if I wasn't by the truck because it was loud and, you do carnival-like things by the truck, I wouldn't have probably went either. It was, I like road and I like big trucks. So wherever there's a road and a big truck, most likely I'll be behind there. And I'm protesting still with my Save Boston Carnival t-shirt. And I had a good time behind the truck. There was nobody there until we turned to Grove Hall. And then the mob swarmed, and then it got crazy again. So then it was just kind of like, okay, I'm going to walk up the rest of the road, and then I'm going to go home. I'm going to go home because there's nothing left for me to do here.
Yeah.
My truck gone. There's no more trucks. The street sweepers are starting to sweep in. There's no festivities.
What time was it done?
Like 4.
Yep.
Maybe like 4:30.
Yeah, I saw somebody was like, oh, carnival was 3 hours long.
Yeah, it was like 4:30 because I remember getting to my car exactly at like 5:04. And at that point, they had already started taking up the barricades as I was walking back down the street. So and then people stayed up there because people stayed there for a while because that's what people do. It's a mob mentality. I'm going to go where people go, and that's what I do. But other than that, I don't really understand what our point is. And I do, to that question, if people feel like they start participating, it's going to go away. I feel like it doesn't have to be a long stop participation. I think there needs to be a clear message that goes out. This is not what we want. We're going to stop it here. And with the understanding and the trust that if you guys strategize and do what you're supposed to do and support those who want to do better, I think we can do it in less than a year.
And you know what? There's alternatives to carnival. I went to Spectacle Island for Boston Harbor Summer Nights Caribbean Party, with the This and That band and food by Zaz and little drinks. We took the little ferry over there, hung out for about 3 hours on the island. It was very, very lovely. We did mess up, though. We weren't prepared. We should have brought our own picnic lunch or whatever.
And who's we?
We. So the This and That band did their thing over there, and in between This and That, they did play a lot of, like, they had some, DJ music, or not DJ, but there was music playing. It was a very, very nice alternative. The boat was packed. It wasn't a lot of black people, but we were there. We were there, and I saw people that I knew, and so I was like, oh, okay, and everybody was like, yeah, we're just gonna do something different. We're gonna do something different.
And I think that is cool. That's another conversation too, because I had another conversation about that too. From the American side of things, the Americans, or those who are like Caribbean adjacent or whatever, they were like, the conversation has been, Boston Carnival has got to figure out how to reunite people to Boston Carnival, because now people have a lot more other options.
Oh yeah.
There's a lot more other options, and I feel like this is how Carnival actually starts to break up too.
Yeah.
Because we see it in New York, right? Yeah. Like there's mad events going down during the time of the actual parkway. Yeah. We don't have, like, other than West Indian events, we don't really have a lot of big events that conflict with the Carnival. And I think we do that on purpose, because somehow the people who could put on a big event still very much want to see Boston Carnival be what it was. So the fact that there were other places to go that you can get into the same type of vibe almost was very interesting, because
go and celebrate the culture.
Everybody from Spectacle Island technically should have been at Boston Carnival. There shouldn't have been another event, because it should have shut down. No, not even personal. Like, no. I just feel like there are options now, and if we don't figure out how to make Carnival fun again, or cultural again, then that's what's going to happen. It's going to be less and less crowd participation too, because they're going to be, at this point, the Haitians could literally have Haitian Parade Day Part 2.
Yeah,
because if it wasn't for the Haitians, ain't nobody was going to be outside, period. The Haitian mob was very scary.
It's a Haitian parade.
It's interesting that we're at a time where there's a lot of things that's trying to revamp the Caribbean community that B-Soca is doing. A lot of events that's going around it outside that the promoters are doing at the same time. The Carnival is probably the biggest representation of Caribbean community. It's not really the best.
It should be,
yeah. It's not.
No, it is the biggest, but it's definitely it's definitely quantity over quality. In that situation, and it's really in poor taste. It's awful.
We're at some point we're gonna have a town hall about Carnival, and it's gonna be very soon. Very soon. Should be. And what I don't want to see is, I don't want the same people who have been coming out and talking to be the only ones present. The same amount of people, the same amount of Facebook statuses and posts and comments and things that I see, there needs to be a packed room. Finding how to organize that will have to be microphones and a sign-up sheet or something like that, like they do regular town hall meetings. But we need a packed house. We need to show that there are numbers, and it's not only what the media narrative is saying, that this is great and the Carnival Committee is doing such a good job and the Carnival Committee is doing this and doing that. Shut it up. Shut your mouth. Because the only people that I hear that from are people that are not inside of the culture or from the Carnival Committee itself. And I am so sick and tired of you guys giving them more praise than they have. Kudos to what you have done. It's time to move aside. And I'm not age baiting, but at 85 or 86 years old, you cannot do it. I'm 42. I don't want this. For the record, I'm not a power grab. I do not want to be the president. It is way too much work. Y'all see what I'm doing here? I got enough holding down. I don't want that. Somebody needs to stand up and take the realms and get it done. We provided an organization for you. We provided community backings for you. We provided a lot of things. If there's somebody out there that thinks that they could do a great job, it is time to step up. Step up. Because we're dead here. This is dead. There's no point of being out there. Not one friggin' bottle of spoon. The damn people that came up here from Trinidad and Dominican Republic or wherever they came from, who the hell are you performing for? Nobody. I passed them. There was nobody on the street to look at them. There was nobody at Kitty's to look at Junior Carnival to look at them. At Junior Carnival, there was 17 spectators. What are y'all doing out here, Boston?
Yeah.
Honestly, there's no mass bands, there should be no other bands. If there's no mass bands, those other bands they should just stop.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed. Sam Cedeno says we need change. Yes.
Bro,
you're
y'all
right.
pray for us. Pray for the carnival. Please.
Yeah.
All right, amen.
All right. Well, let's get this show started.
Good morning.
Good morning. I mean, our next segment is an interview from the ladies of Saltwater Diaries, and they are starting a podcast or an audio experience about stories from the Caribbean diaspora. Mm-hmm. So we'll get into them in a few seconds.
How was Worcester Carnival? Quickly.
Oh yeah, sorry. Oh, we didn't even finish. Worcester Carnival, adorable. Worcester Carnival for year 12 it is. I can see they're growing, but we have to be honest, and I'm not going to be biased about this. Worcester Carnival is in Worcester, number one. Mm-hmm. So a lot of people still have a little, even though we're talking about traveling carnivals and whatever, people from Boston, after Boston, usually they're pretty much conked out. The people still go to Worcester. They had a nice crowd participation. One of the trucks that didn't make it on the Boston Road, Gen Z, was actually there. Nice. It was Camo. It was Envy Mass. It was the Socoholics kids. Big shout out to Socoholics. Socoholics, y'all.
They held it down.
Y'all held it down. Socoholics, they pushed through.
Socoholics as a Bayesian community, y'all do a fine job. You know, I still don't agree personally. Outside of any other organization, I still don't agree that you guys should participate in any other carnival until this whatever. But I also know how hard that is for a real mass band, right? Not being on the road when this is all I want to do. There are many people that are boycotting this. And those trucks want to get back on the road very, very bad. A lot of Juve trucks, a lot of mass trucks, all of those, they want to get back on the road, but they refuse to. Anyways, Worcester was adorable. At the end, they lined up at the end and they did their stage. Great crowd. The kids had a good fun. I took my son and the dog up there because it is a much, less crowded whatever. They got a great route. But to be honest, Worcester gets its real survival from when Boston is successful.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. If Boston is successful, Boston literally feeds the other New England carnivals out here. The way that there was mass on the road anyways, and I'll attest it, I would think that it was because of B-Soca's kiddies. Because all the people that was in mass were kids. Literally. So if there was nobody to put together a mass and concerted effort to bring in mass, there was no mass besides what people already did for something else. So Worcester was cute. It was fun. I had a good time. I left really soon after, and then I went to Scoop's Cooler Fete. Scoop's Cooler Fete is the one event that everybody gets very, very excited about for Carnival. Mm-hmm. It's back in his backyard, which they should have never moved. My one criticism to Scoop's Cooler Fete is shut it down. When it gets too crowded and there's too many people there, close the doors, stop letting people in, keep it safe. I don't think anything happened to it yesterday, so it was good. It was a vibe. Everybody left drunk, happy, last lap. And the last lap was that Sorrel and Lime again. Those boys, I hope they sleeping for a week. Sorrel and Lime boys they had a time.
Every day since Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Yep.
And probably tonight. Probably tonight and tomorrow night. And then not Wednesday because they got things to do on Wednesday. But still.
Right.
Anyhow, what are we gonna do? How are we doing this today?
You want to start the show?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
I
don't. Well, no. We gonna have to do the show at the end.
Yeah.
All right.
So we're gonna continue the conversation after a commercial break, and we're gonna bring in the Saltwater Diaries. They have their own agenda, but I'm gonna suck them into this as well because it kind of correlates.
Yeah.
So we'll be right back in a few minutes. Do not go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Saucy and friends in the morning with Miss Hot Sauce, Miss Tony, and Rockstone This is
The Spark of New England, Spark FM.
Bringing the heat back to the airwaves.
Turn us up.
all right. Let's take a look.
Advertise your business, brand, or music on Spark FM. Contact us at sparkfmonline.com for more information.
Praise the Lord, City of Boston. This is Brother Chris right here on Spark FM.
Come on, sing it.
Bringing you Sunday morning worship each and every Sunday morning, 6 to 10 a.m. Let's get our praise on.
We all make choices about alcohol. Kids make choices whether to drink or not.
Bye, Dad. Remember, I'm going to Alex's party tonight and sleeping over.
Hey, remind me about that party again?
And adults make choices whether to talk about it. That's true of parents and every other trusted adult in a kid's life. Kids want to know our expectations, and they want honest answers in everyday conversations. So talk with your kids and help lead them on a positive path. Because when you talk, they hear you. Learn more at underagedrinking.samhsa.gov.
Boston's new home for urban Caribbean music. Spark FM. Spark FM. Playing all your favorite hits from reggae. Spark FM.
If you know man swing the way you are gonna see a million. We got to go long just like the Amazon.
Spark FM.
I do what I like and I easy. No say we are for winning. Walk with the camera like Jesus.
Soca. Hip hop.
Yeah, we on and we going crazy.
R&B.
You could do damage. You could do damage.
Afrobeats and much more. Spark FM. Spark FM.
You're listening to Spark FM. Online. Anywhere. You're listening to Saucy and Friends in the morning with Miss Hot Sauce, Miss Tony, and Rockstone Triz. You're listening to Spark FM. Online.
Tell from your swag and your class, you be acting hot to Diddy, probably from the South End. Could you shoot game silly and you pretty, acting like you from New York City. Still I bring that. She my rocks, Bay Rider, look me dead in the face, even though I know she lying, but I like her cause she real. If I ever go to jail, she be the first one to write me. Still I bring that. Been around the globe when I'm getting off the road, hit Dorchester. She gon' have a good week, plus go to war with your score, with your talk back till she get bored. Would you bring that? Miss High Park, walk dogs, and she only like ball players. Ambition, plus she got tuition paid. Went to school to be a fashion major. It's everlasting, baby.
I love these girls from my city. I can tell by your swag where you come from in my city. Just passing through her and ghetto. There's a pretty brown thing riding with me. I swear I'm tryna rip your clothes off right now. Right now. Girl, we can do it.
She like roll up, put up in the drop with the doors up. Circle around the block doing donuts. Pair of Tim's hot 10, she like show enough. She from the hood and I love that. Told me if you love the streets, you get no love back. Told me if you get a pack, better jug that. And if you come up on the block, better hug that. Love that. I could tell from your swag and your class, you be acting hot to Diddy, probably from the South End. Could you shoot game silly and you pretty, acting like you from New York City. Still I bring that. She my rocks, Bay Rider, look me dead in the face, even though I know she lying, but I like her cause she real. If I ever go to jail, she be the first one to write me. Still I bring that. Been around the globe when I'm getting off the road, hit Dorchester. She gon' have a good week, plus go to war with your score, with your talk back till she get bored. Would you bring that? Miss High Park, walk dogs, and she only like ball players. Ambition, plus she got tuition paid. Went to school to be a fashion major. It's everlasting, baby.
I love these girls from my city.
You're listening to Saucy and Friends in the morning with Miss Hot Sauce, Miss Tony, and Rockstone Triz.
And we're back. Spark FM Online, #1 for urban and Caribbean music. We are in the building. We just got off of our carnival recap. We'll probably end up back into there at some point because why not? Today we have the Saltwater Diaries creators or curators with us. And this kind of goes right into what we've been talking about is culture, tradition, stories from the Caribbean, what it's like to be a Caribbean, what we're used to, what we're not used to, and how we survive this. So welcome, Saltwater Diaries crew. We have Gina, Darlene, and Regine, right?
Yes.
Oh, I see what you're Darlene and Regine.
Yeah. Can you tell we're Haitian?
So ladies, tell us, what is the Saltwater Diaries?
You want to kick off? Okay. I think all of us, we all went to college together. So we went to Simmons College in Boston, which is where we all met. And we... Did you? When?
In the kitchen. Maybe like 10 years ago.
No way. I mean, not... I wasn't there 10 years ago. Just a little while. But yeah, I think we each went to Simmons College, and I always say this, when we went and we enrolled, you went to Simmons to find your voice.
Yeah.
And that was a huge part of it. And I would argue that finding your voice as a child of immigrants and as a woman is actually really hard to do. And even many years after, as you navigate life, your responsibilities to yourself, but also to your family and your community, I think we all knew that there were many discussions that could be had, many stories that could be had, many stories that we don't hear because they're locked in vaults. I think I learned a long time ago that I would be inquisitive and would ask questions, and sometimes I would be tap dancing on someone else's trauma. And I had to really take a pause and take a step back, and it's like, oh, let me see if there are other ways I can learn about this historical time point, what was happening in Haiti, what the dictatorship was like, what historically it might have been like for my grandmother to be raised in that time, but also to understand that like I have to be careful with how I ask things because all of a sudden someone's mad. All of a sudden they're rushing off, and you're kind of like, what happened here?
And if you're a child from a certain generation, we weren't allowed to be inquisitive.
No,
you can't. You don't ask any questions. Children are to be seen and not heard.
Right. And I think with social media, a lot of stuff gets polarizing. So I think sometimes you try to talk about, like, you know, we've said this all the time, people try to talk about what it's like to be a Haitian daughter, and folks get up in arms. You can't talk about your mother that way. And it's like, but can we have a conversation about what that's like? And I think this is a platform to be able to talk about those things, to hear the stories, to listen to them from the voices of the people who experience them firsthand, to try to sit down with our grandparents and hear what they experienced. And so, yeah, I think this is an opportunity to have more concrete, substantive conversations that are not just sound bites, that are not just quick social media clips, truly about what our families have experienced, how that impacts the generations to come, how we have felt it as first generation, you know, something Americans, and also what it feels like to be in the middle of all that.
So what is the platform? What is it? Where is it? How do we,
I will take a step. Hi, everyone. My name is Regine Theodat, or Regine Theodat. I always never know exactly how to introduce myself or whatever. I'm Haitian, proudly Caribbean. So the Saltwater Diaries is an audio anthology.
Okay.
And so for people who don't know what an anthology is, it's a collection of stories from different people. So normally how it would appear in a book is that each chapter is somebody wrote a chapter. It can be used in research formats and all sorts of formats. But in our format, we're doing it as an audio book. And so the idea is that every person who submits, they narrate their own story, and that becomes a chapter, a quote unquote chapter in this audio book. And so the goal is for us to do this submission launch where people will apply. There's a Google form, and we'll be able to link it, I guess, on this on the show, and you go in and you add in your potential story that you'd want to submit. And from these submissions, we're going to call through and pick a certain number of them, ideally somewhere between like 12 and 21. And the goal is to publish it sometime in June 2026 in commemoration of Caribbean Heritage Month in the U.S.
Very nice.
And so anybody can apply as long as you consider yourself of Caribbean descent.
Okay.
And so we aren't here to police what people feel like are Caribbean descent, but people need to actually feel like they're Caribbean descent. Not I married somebody who's Caribbean, or I adopted a child that's not that. Like, you actually have to identify yourself personally as Caribbean. And if you're somebody who doesn't,
what is that? What do you mean? Like, if I'm like a direct product of Caribbean. Okay, so like first generation, second
any
generation.
generation.
Okay.
Your family could have immigrated here 100 years ago, as long as you yourself identify as Caribbean.
Okay.
And the idea of Caribbean for us is very like wide. We're like Gareth, like literally very wide. The Caribbean Sea touches you. You're in parts of Colombia, and in San Andres, you see that there are these very clear pathways of Caribbean heritage that are very clear. Me, sometimes I feel like I ruffle some feathers with this, but when I went to the Gullah Geechee community, I felt like I was in the Caribbean.
That's
and
in
there
New
are parts.
Orleans?
South Carolina.
South Carolina.
And
yeah.
when I've gone to parts of New Orleans, I have felt like I'm in the Caribbean.
Yeah.
And so for me, Caribbean culture is more of like a feeling of being home and this connected spirit that we have. Obviously it's influenced by West Africa, a little bit of Central Africa, but also has all these other little things that you can't describe it.
Right.
You just know if somebody says to me they feel Caribbean or they are Caribbean, not feel, you are Caribbean, then this is the spot for you. And any kind of stories, any kind of generational stories, truly anything. And we've been getting submissions for the last few weeks, and
like what kind of like examples of what people are submitting?
So maybe like your migration story, like this is how I migrated to the U.S. My mother witnessed the dictatorship, and she witnessed this kind of violence, and I want to talk about it. I first was introduced to my family's traditional religion. I rejected it, but then I found it this way. My parent passed, and I love this way. I'm raising a child, and these are the struggles that I have, trying to connect my heritage in a new space. Really anything that's important to you.
Yeah.
It would be such an honor for us to be able to allow that story to be captured and shared with all of us, so we can start these conversations.
I love this idea. This is awesome.
Why is it important to put out this book or this audio book? Like, you guys were sitting around and y'all were like, we should do something. I want to, like, how did we come here? And it was like, we need something that showcases Caribbean heritage, Caribbean diaspora, Caribbean, all the things. How did you come up with this type of concept?
Yes.
All three of us are proudly Caribbean, like loudly Caribbean too. I think for us, we just wanted something that was captivating, something that we could have, and it was forever. It was somewhere that it sat forever. You could click and play now, 20 years from now, 50 years from now. And we understood that it wasn't just one person's story. It's a bunch of people's stories. And it should be celebrated. It should be captured. It should be put somewhere that people can have and documented.
Yeah.
And I think we recognize the time we live in.
Yeah.
We know what is going on in our world.
Yes.
We know what is going on in the United States. We know what is going on here in Boston. And we know that the erasure of our culture is looming. We know that education and people's stories are being erased very quickly. And not quietly, very loudly. And for us, we want to be able to protect that. We want to preserve it. We want to curate it. We want to celebrate it. All of those things very loudly. And so for us, we are so proud to be of Caribbean descent. All three of us are first generation. We are the immigrant story. And so we just want to be able to really celebrate that.
And it's probably really good to do it on an audiobook too, the way they're banning books and removing books from shelves and all that stuff.
Right.
And, you know, an audiobook could live on the internet forever, which is really good, which is smart.
And also,
I feel like this can also be very inspiring to the next generation that's coming also, like, because you know they haven't really they're like you said, a lot of it's been erased, and it needs to be told.
There's no effort to
preserve
these things, or there's no I don't see any effort to really preserve the culture at all right now. And like we were just talking about the Boston Carnival and the state of which Boston Carnival is in, with the literal, you know, death of the cultural aspects that made Boston what it is. And the narrative around it is that the kids don't know culture. There's nobody here to tell the stories, teach the stories, show them tradition, you know, help them to kind of grow up in this environment where I feel like first generations, like that's all we did. We practically lived in the Caribbean. We were practically born there or went there enough times that we can like speak to everybody's experiences, but I don't feel like those lessons are being
the values.
They're not being handed down good, you know, like
even American culture, Black American culture could learn from this.
Absolutely, because it's steeped in that. Are there plans for other volumes of this, or is this a one-time thing, or what are we doing?
I mean, I think the goal. I mean, I think the goal is to make this first iteration really, really good.
Yeah.
And then see where it comes from there. But I want to touch upon the point that you made about culture keeping. Yeah. And I think that's something that's really important to all three of us. Culture keeping is like my number one goals, and when we say that there's like nobody keeping these on, it's really up to us. I was realizing the other day, like, we're the new adults, like,
literally.
We're like, oh, who's gonna do like the family function, like us, like we're the aunties, we're the uncles, now this is up to us. And I didn't experience Boston Carnival this year. I haven't actually experienced it since college, but I experienced the Kitty Carnival 2 weeks. And I have to say, I'm really grateful for that experience.
So cute.
It was really
cute. My daughter was in it. It was her first carnival.
Good.
She was born in Haiti, but we never got to experience carnival because of how many ups and downs of the years that we lived there. But she, you know, she got our carabin on. She was like, oh, and then she felt like the girls from Trinity, and she was like, I want one of those butterfly backpacks. Like, she's all in. And, and so these are like little ways, and it's really up to us. And we have to archive our stories, and I'm hopeful too that this process will encourage people, you know, before your grandparents pass, before your parents pass, get their stories. It doesn't have to be like we're doing this formal call, but even you yourselves we're all archivists, and we should all be like writing our parents' stories down and keeping our family memories. And I've been doing this a lot lately. I've been scanning all of like our old family pictures, and it's up to us to culture keep and grow this narrative about our culture and make sure our children know and to continue the connections. It's
love
hard
this culture
for us
keep thing.
to go back to Haiti, but it
Culture
is
keep.
easy
I love that
to go
term.
around the other places.
I'm this again coming off the last topic. When hearing these things, there is hope, right? Because there are still people that want to carry this on and want these things to, like you said, archived. We want to pass on this tradition, pass off this culture to our kids. The only way to do it is if we do, you know, document it, like they've been saying, document it, put it out there. My other question is, how do you make these things sexy to other parts of the people so that they want to hear them, they want to learn these stories? How do you market something like this so that more people consume it and more people can learn from it? Besides being here on Spark FM.
This is like our first big marketing effort. I will say that I think people are open. I don't know about how other people in this room feel, but I feel like people are very thirsty for this.
For information.
For information. And especially, I can't speak to all the other Caribbean communities, but especially in the Haitian community, for people who didn't grow up in Haiti, who didn't have access to going to Haiti every summer like some of us did, they really want to know about customs and cultures and things that they have lost, even if it's just through not learning language. I also own a children's brand and where we produce things for parents to pass on the culture to their kids, like, you know, kid-sized instruments, books, and things like that. And so I interact a lot with parents, and a lot of them are learning the language for the first time along with their children. And I see a lot of hunger for people to want to have this information. So maybe we'll find out later on that we do actually need to market and make it sexy and all these things, but I feel like the audience is already pretty captured. We just have to find ways to communicate to them where they are that this exists.
I would love to see this on film.
Yeah.
I would love to see this like
little short stories. Yeah, I love it. Gina, what's your background?
So I am half Trinidadian, half Jamaican. My dad is Jamaican. My mom is Trinidadian.
What a combo.
Wow, you feisty.
And very rich cultures as well. We do see, like
Absolutely.
here, Haitians literally run Boston. But coming from, like Jamaican and Trinidadian cultures, do you see the same thing within your people, that they are thirsty for this knowledge and want to continue it?
I think especially in the Trinidadian culture, we are very proud people that love to party. Yes, we love to party, but there are other elements to our culture that should absolutely be captured in the spirit of Trinidadian people. We are creatives.
Yeah.
We are absolutely creatives.
Storytellers.
Jamaicans too. And so I think there is, to what Regine was saying, an absolute thirst or want around this whole gatekeeping. This is a huge topic within the Trinidadian culture around gatekeeping carnival, gatekeeping our music, creating and ensuring that platforms are preserved. And I think this anthology falls in line with it because it is a gatekeeping mechanism that we are creating with the anthology.
Yeah,
I love that. I love that. Do you guys believe in gatekeeping? Certain parts of the culture. Yes.
Gatekeeping and culture keeping, I think, go hand in hand.
Yeah.
You have to balance it. I think you can gatekeep to the point where it's detrimental to you because you do want to be able to share
and we've
your
seen
culture.
we've
You wanna
seen
share.
the opposite
And
sides.
I get a little prickly when I see people culturally appropriate without like you can come to Carnival, but you need to know the history of Carnival.
Yes.
You can't come to Carnival and not know how it started. That's unacceptable.
And that's an interesting thing because my family is from Haiti. I grew up going to Haiti. And I cannot give my sons the same experience I had. And I would, except I can't risk their safety. Right? And that is something that's really interesting. So there are risks that I would take myself personally, but with young children, I would have to move differently. So my alternative, and actually read another person in this wonderful magazine article about this, we've gone to Jamaica. And I love that experience in Jamaica with them. It was not Haiti, but it was close enough to the culture, to the traditions, to like my son was playing with the stray dog, and I was like, it's cool, bro. Like, and I wanted him to have that experience, and I had to watch him real quick, like, be careful, and, but I wanted him to have that experience. I wanted him to have the experience of taking a bath with a bucket of water.
You
need to know what
absolutely.
that's like.
Running
That's
barefoot
all the
through
water
the streets.
run barefoot.
Yeah.
And as much as I would, literally, I think of my great-grandfather has this one, called a laku in Haiti. And it's this, growing up, we just went there, and it was, generations of family. All of the homes faced kind of inward.
Like a compound.
It was a compound.
Yeah.
It was the
A
best
cul-de-sac.
Literally,
Yeah.
the original cul-de-sac.
Yeah.
And I just remember going to Haiti years over years where, it used to be we would sit on my aunt's gallery, people walk by, you say good morning, you talk. Me and my cousins are playing carnival videos, we're dancing, we're having fun. And year over year, everyone's building, literally enclosing their compound, building up concrete walls, putting glass on top.
Interesting,
and I was like, things are changing. And I saw that change. And it was hard because I want to bring my children back. But I brought them to Negril. We stayed at this wonderful hotel. It was amazing. They, we left. They saw the roosters walking across the street. Let's go.
This is life.
This is life. And it's really interesting because I think though people do like to gatekeep or have, certain silly conversations about which culture is better, which I think there's so many parallels across them
Yeah.
all.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And it's just like I don't have to fight you, but if I can't get to Haiti, I'm gonna go to Jamaica.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna get my kids that experience.
Janet says, so how can I help as a Yankee to my Guyanese kids? Janet, I think you do a good job already exposing them to the culture. Like even if your husband is not there, Janet be having them children right in the middle of Kitty's Carnival, like
with her
volunteering.
Guyanese flag on.
Yeah. And I think that's an important question too. Like we are in America, so most likely a lot of us will be marrying, Americans or something like that, where your culture is kind of being, I wouldn't say diluted. Well, diluted a little bit because you're dating outside of the culture. And it's important for even in those households that are now mixed or most of us are mixed anyways, to really kind of continue the tradition in whatever way you can and expose these kids to Saltwater Diaries or Kitty's Carnival, Pan on the Plaza, things like that. Just take them outside.
I was going to say it's like a guideline.
Yeah.
Like a
I took
guideline
my son to Worcester yesterday because I'm not taking him to Boston. And I took him to Worcester and we a crash course in chipping. Down the road behind the truck. Thank God there was a cute girl there that he decided to follow behind. But it's important that I expose him to things, even if they're not exactly what we experience, but he's getting some version of culture so that when he grows up, he's like, I'm wearing my flags. I'm like, you want to wear one on your head? What do you want to do?
Schneider says here, I think we can learn to share without giving away when it comes to gatekeeping.
Yes.
Yeah, sure.
Culture preservation.
Yes, absolutely.
I will have to give a shout out. So I'm born and raised Bostonian. I love this place, but I live in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
And in New York, I found this really amazing platform called Jardin Timoun, and it's two amazing women who they have literally they have virtual programs, in-person programs, and I've been taking my kids since they were younger, and they have learned Haitian Creole. They learned songs songs that my mother-in-law was like, oh my God, I forgot this song. Cute kitty songs. Riva Nairi Priscilla has a wonderful Haitian children's lullabies album. That I play for the boys to have them go to bed. And sometimes even I'm looking at my mom or mother, I'm like, did you guys remember these songs? They're like, yeah. And I'm like, how come we didn't get them? What happened? And so I think there are many ways to keep the kids in the loop. Wonderful books. Frasian has an amazing book. Speaking of Caribbean traditions.
What kind of book is it, Regine?
Please tell them.
It's a children's book. So I own a company. I named it after my daughter. When my daughter was first born, I wanted all of the things in her nursery to be Haitian, and I couldn't find them. So I started a company with my sister. And so we have books. We have a folktale that's, I don't know, it's across most of the Caribbean cultures, but I don't know if you all recognize this. When a child plays in upside down triangle, they're calling their unborn sibling.
Yeah.
Okay. So the first book is about that, and it's about this girl named Zafet, and she has this, she's playing upside down, and she starts having she's calling her sibling, and it's about sibling love.
Yeah.
Then we have some bilingual Haitian Creole board books in English. We have the instruments in the drum, the typical drum, the rara instruments. We have the Mancala boards. We have
What's the name of your company?
East and Low, ISSE and LO, Low. And we ship wherever, and you can get all sorts of things that will help your kids. We have feelings charts, social emotional learning tools.
Oh yes,
I love
there's a plethora of things.
And
that sounds so beautiful.
That pot was amazing.
Oh, the should we have the little kids set, and so it looks like what we would cook with in Caribbean, the little we call it a shoja. I think some people call it a calderon, a pilon.
The little silver lot with the little top. Yeah.
Yeah, so they're little kid size with felt foods that look like rice and peas or rice and
that
beans.
That is so cute. I want it right now.
Yeah. We have all of those, and hearing the parents talk about the longing of not being able to go to Haiti and the longing of not being able, that's part of the things that inspired those things. And so I'm very excited to see the stories that are coming in. The deadline is September 2nd.
Okay, good. I was about to get back into the business.
Remember that.
So deadline is September 2nd for this first volume, because there's going to be many more people.
The Yankees need one too, though. The Americans need one too.
What?
The same book, the same style. The book.
That's
like an
not
audio anthology?
They got the Americans is getting rid of all of their history.
No,
we ain't got to go there.
The black Americans.
I mean, there probably is an audio anthology. There is one that's
There are
for
lots
Black
of them.
American.
Yeah, like Black American history is very, 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 very highly populated with things that you can do for your kids and stuff.
Pan-Africans,
but I don't
that
hear about
miss.
things like that for other cultures, specifically like Caribbean cultures and stuff like that. So I think that is really, really awesome.
I
go
just
ahead.
want to add. I think one of the mentionables here is that both Darlene and Regine was talking about the grief around not being able to go back to Haiti.
Yes.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's also the grief that I even feel going back to Jamaica or going back to Trinidad and seeing how much the country has shifted and changed as a result of violence or corruption or just social folks are migrating all over the world and things are changing and shifting so quickly and so fast, and there's a lot of grief around that. And so I think that is another real reason why we wanted to create this opportunity to really preserve what we have seen, the stories that our grandparents, our aunts and uncles talk about, the beautiful years being born and raised in a beautiful country in the countryside, and how there was no crime, how people walked in the streets, how there was community. You walk down, your neighbor was your
play cousin.
Right. So I think that is also very much in a part of why we are doing this as well.
I think that this is so very important. It's very important, and it comes at a time, like we started out saying, where censor overload is happening all over the place. Like people's stories are being shut down, like history is trying to be erased. They're trying to make us forget that these things happen, and I think that it's important for things like the Saltwater Diary to exist, because we still need private platforms that speak to collective, so this is very important. It comes at a really, really important time. So the deadline to submit your stories is when?
September 2nd.
And this will come out. You guys will do some compilation and blah, blah, blah. And then we're hitting the scenes in June
2026.
June 2026 with a full audio anthology. This is exciting.
It is. It's very exciting. And we will post the links to the Google form on our sites, on our socials and sites for everybody to get in there.
And where will it live? What was the platform that it was going to be?
Wherever audiobooks are
okay,
available.
good. All right.
So, wherever you would normally get an audiobook, you can get it there. And it's going to be free. It's going to be available free for everyone to download.
Wow.
And something else I wanted to mention, this really is, we want everyone to be able to apply. So we have many options. You can, upload your story. You can upload a voice note. You can send us a voice note on WhatsApp. If you need, we can do an intake form with somebody who's older. These can also be submitted in a different language, and it will be up to us to figure out how to make it accessible to people who don't speak that language.
Oh, lovely. Wow. Yeah.
Children can apply as long as their parents are willing to sign off. And so if they're under 18 and their parents say it's okay, they can submit a story and participate. And so it really is multi-generational,
And how many stories are going to be in this first one?
We would like somewhere between 12 and 21.
Oh, wow.
So,
yeah. That's going to be good. A little podcast.
Yeah, like a
Sit
little
there,
hour
wash
and a
my
half.
dishes and
hour and a half,
listen.
sit down and listen to all these stories.
Oh, this is great. And then how long do the stories have to be?
So they can be anywhere from 3 minutes, 8 to 12 minutes. And so if you're thinking of something that's 3 minutes, that's like, 3/4 of a page length if you're speaking slowly, not the way I speak. And 8 to 12 minutes is like 2 to 3 pages of text.
Okay.
Can it be a recipe, something like a recipe?
That'd be beautiful.
I love it.
Can I make a suggestion? A lot of people are losing their grandparents. This would be really dope if you guys documented it on video and put it on YouTube so it can last.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think you guys got time till June. Get her done. No pressure. I love the start. I love the thought process behind it and the intentionality. So I do wish you guys the best of luck, because I think it's, like I said, it's important. It's not just a fun thing to do or, a learning experience. It's actually a very, very important effort to make sure that our cultures are preserved in the best way, in a beautiful way too.
Can I just say Saltwater Diaries is named because we are all connected by the salt water.
Yes.
I love that. I love the name. It's very nice. It sounds very tranquil.
But also recognizing the passage of our ancestors from West Africa to the Caribbean Sea, and those that were lost, those that came over, struggled, liberation, freedom, all of those elements. And that's why we chose saltwater.
Beautiful. So that your tears
Drop a
are
bomb on
saltwater.
Oh, yes.
Well, kudos to you guys. We absolutely wish you the very, very best. Make sure, hope everybody who is listening submits their segments or their stories. Get them in. September 2nd is the deadline. So we want to make sure that they have enough time to make a small movie for each one of these things. They need a production team, all of the things. They've got so much work to do. So make sure that you guys are submitting those stories September 9th. And we put all the information in the comment section. And we'll also link it back on our social media so that you guys don't have no excuse as to why you didn't get your story in.
Exactly.
And if it don't make it in this volume, we'll make it to the second one.
To the next volume.
Y'all got so much work.
Oh,
I
yeah.
just applied pressure.
Oh, yeah.
With that said, people, we do got to pay some bills. Spark FM Online, Saucy and Friends in the Morning. We'll be right back. Saltwater Diaries.
Saucy and Friends in the Morning with Miss Hot Sauce, Miss Tony, and Rockstone Trill.
You are now listening to Spark FM.
Often I hear people talking about how high their electricity bills are. Massachusetts has programs that everyday homeowners pay for, but never look into. Have you ever considered why some homes have panels and others don't? If you have Eversource, National Grid, or Unitil for electricity, you are paying for your neighbors to get panels at no cost. The charges are on the bill. Why not get someone to pay for yours? This program also helps with re-roofing, tree cutting, and electrical upgrades. If you're tired of short-term solutions for a long-term problem, connect with Bakari to find out if your home meets the requirements to upgrade at no cost out of pocket. Save the planet, future-proof your family for power outages, and save tens of thousands of dollars on an otherwise lifelong bill. Mention Spark when you call or text SPARK to 617-833-8940 to get 2 months off your power bill covered if your home gets selected.
JP Morgan Chase is making a global commitment to break down barriers to drive inclusive economic growth all over the world. We believe there is a pressing need to help more people move up the economic ladder. That is why we are investing in communities and people to create an economy that works for all, because no community should be left behind. Right here in Boston, we're focusing that work in Dorchester, Roxbury, and Mattapan, among other neighborhoods, on improving financial health. These efforts aim to address the key drivers of the racial wealth divide head-on. We're here to empower individuals, families, and small businesses by connecting them to the tools that build generational wealth and a long-lasting legacy. Chase is investing in Boston. Chase is investing in you. Visit us at the Mattapan branch at 1617 Blue Hill Avenue, where the team is waiting to help.
How serious is youth vaping? Irreversible lung damage serious. 1 in 10 kids vape serious, which warrants a serious conversation from a serious parental figure like yourself. Not the seriously know-it-all sports dad or the seriously smart podcaster. It requires a serious conversation that is best had by you. No, seriously. The best person to talk to your child about vaping is you. To start the conversation, visit talkaboutvaping.org. Brought to you by the American Lung Association and the Ad Council.
Looking for a meaningful way to engage with your community and make a difference? Volunteer with the Massachusetts Senior Medicare Patrol Program and help prevent Medicare fraud. Visit masmp.org. This project is supported by a grant from the U.S. Administration for Community Living.
Each and every Saturday night from 6 to 9 p.m. inside the Avenue, where you bring the drinks and we bring the vibes. My name is Gary Banton alongside my co-host Big Trini, right here in SparkFMOnline.com, the #1 place for soca, hip-hop, R&B, and more. Each and every Saturdays from 6 to 9 p.m. It's The Avenue.
Spark FM.
I know you nasty. She be touching on her own body.
Igniting the airwaves. Spark FM.
Said she wanna take me away. Said she wanna take me away. Said she wanna show me the way.
Join us on Facebook and Instagram at sparkfmonline.com.
Turn us up.
Spark FM. You are now listening to Spark FM.
DJ Wysham from the 617 to your backyard. You're listening to Spark FM.
Hey,
online.
It's going crazy.
Bonnie and Clyde, this is Thelma Louise. Better took when I squeeze. Not a name. Male say daddy please. When they down on their knees. Fried ain't me. Ain't no like we. Bonnie and Clyde, this is Thelma Louise. Better took when I squeeze. Not a name. Male say daddy please. When they down on their knees. Fried ain't me. Ain't no like we. 02124, we the ambassador. Got Sham on my passenger, cause she real quick to clap at ya. Talk straight vernacular, got all the bricks like the bachelor. Real big ass, I back it up. Run the campus like the chancellor. Real booty, no chance of the cross my that's blasphemous. Never thought we would pop. It's miraculous. Tryna eat, ravenous. Neighbor, do all that, touch this. Squeeze the that's bliss. This had to give Christmas. Yo, where'd you get this? Always hit when y'all miss. Never scared to hit a lick. This wife, now he pissed. Chocolate with that wet Swiss miss. Rock a we are the misfits. Never made trout, it was dismissed. Bonnie and Clyde, this is Thelma Louise. Better took when I squeeze. Not a name. Male say daddy please. When they down on their knees. Fried ain't me.
You're listening to Spark FM. Online.
Bust a bus. Tripping on my murder, but you're saying us. Burn their brain, but you're really rush. Us. Yep.
Yes.
That was it. That's the song that we have today. We are back, and it's time to get into a little business, find out what's been going on this weekend other than carnival events. It has been quite the cluster F, right?
It's been stuff.
It's been. This morning we had to literally delete at least 12 stories of just shootings and violence and crazy things. No, they were not connected to the Boston Carnival. This weekend just happened to be wild. End of the summer, Wild West. Everything is going crazy. So we'll get into a few of the stories that have been collected over the last weekend. What's up, Tony?
Oh, here we go. Well, we're a little bit of carnival stuff. Boston officials pushed back on ICE at annual Caribbean Carnival Parade. Was they raiding out there?
What?
The ICE?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
I would assume.
Pride was on full display at the 52nd annual Boston Caribbean Carnival Parade on Saturday. Colorful costumes and boisterous music filled the streets of Roxbury as residents participated in 2 parades to celebrate their Caribbean heritage. The celebration started with the Juve Parade at dawn and continued into a larger processional known as the Caribbean Carnival on Blue Hill Avenue. As a daughter of Haitian immigrants, as someone who grew up proudly in Caribbean communities, in the Trinidad community and the Jamaican community, Carnival is a day of joy. It's about expression, one resident stated. Several elected officials were present for the occasion, including Mayor Michelle Wu, who cut the ribbon for the main procession. The celebration came on the heels of Mayor Michelle Wu refusing to comply with the President Trump's order to end the city's sanctuary laws. Here, we're being asked not to help enforce criminal law, but actually to carry out mass deportations when there has not been a criminal warrant obtained, Wu remarked. Boston City Council President Ruth G. Louisan, the first Haitian American elected to the Boston municipal government, who was also at the parade, says that the city will continue to support the culturally rich community regardless of what the Trump administration says. We are who we are. We know who we are, our values and our identity, regardless of what's happening at the federal level, Louisiana said. So that. Okay. All right. Well, good.
Nice. I mean, I figured too. Like that's a scary place to be during Carnival while ICE is out here. Have they come? Have they released who they releasing on us yet?
No, not yet. It hasn't been
How
released
come
on
they
us
ain't
yet.
talked about how they gonna release the National Guard over here to Boston? We're sanctuary state. Not that I want them to, but I don't know.
Not
what's
just
going on.
yet. If you guys are interested, there's some wonderful pictures of the rich carnival culture that was displayed at the Boston Caribbean Carnival in the afternoon. There's some rich culture pictures there. And there's that in that next article. There's Mayor Michelle Wu with her wonderful headpiece, with her good friend
She
in the
was
background.
walking wine.
Walk and wine. And now let's get into it. A teen with a loaded gun in Nubian Square learns that sometimes victims fight back, police say. Boston police report arresting a 17-year-old. They say after he tried robbing someone at gunpoint on Ziegler Street in Nubian Square Thursday afternoon, only to have his would-be victim grab his gun away from him. Police say the teen, too young to have his name released, tried sticking up somebody on Ziegler Street between Warren and Harrison around 4:30 p.m., but was instead forced to run away. Police say officers caught up with him after a foot chase in a Harrison Avenue parking lot, and that while detaining him, another call came in about a guy with a gun on Ziegler Street near Bethune Way. The individual was seen searching in his backpack and was ordered to stop. He complied, and a firearm was recovered from the front pocket of his hooded sweatshirt. The weapon was identified as a SCCY CPX-2 with one round in the chamber. Further investigation revealed that this individual was actually the victim of the initial robbery. The 17-year-old male suspect had attempted to rob him at gunpoint, but the victim managed to disarm the suspect during the incident.
Wow.
He took his gun. Yeah. The teen who lost control of his gun was charged with being a delinquent for armed robbery, unlawful possession of a firearm, unlawful possession of ammunition, assault with a dangerous weapon, assault and battery, disorderly conduct, and resisting arrest, police say. Oh, that's crazy. Boston's police sees 11 loaded firearms in citywide crackdown, multiple suspects arrested, including teens. So in a single day, Boston police officers recovered 11 loaded firearms during various incidents spread throughout the city as part of an ongoing initiative to diminish gun violence and enhance public safety in the area. The seizures, which occurred last Saturday, August 23rd, involved numerous suspects ranging from young teenagers to young adults, with arrests leading to a range of charges from possession of a large capacity firearm to resisting arrest. Early in the day, around 10 a.m., officers noticed a group of prior firearm violations and subsequently arrested Javier Mabin, 21, of Dorchester after he fled and discarded a Kel-Tec PMR 30. Mabin is set to appear in Dorchester District Court facing several charges, including possession of a large capacity firearm and carrying a loaded firearm without a license. With public spaces regularly patrolled, officers were urged to remain vigilant, leading them to encounter a suspicious male dressed in black who ended up being a 15-year-old juvenile, arrested later in the day with a Gerson MC-28 SA and facing an arraignment in Boston Juvenile Court. The juvenile's firearm notably had an obliterated serial number. Similarly involved in an unlawful firearm possession, Terrell Stokes, 18, and DeMonte Brown, 19, both of Dorchester, were arrested outside an unfamiliar residency on Pasadena Road. They were found with a Polymer 80 and a Glock 9mm, respectively, neither of which belonged to any residents of the address in question. Rodney Dooley Blue, 20, of Roxbury, was arrested with stolen Big Sig Sauer P938.
That sounds huge.
Yeah. And Corey Robinson, 22, of Boston, had a discarded Glock 19 with an extended magazine recovered by detectives. The Youth Violence Task Force made another noteworthy arrest when they apprehended a 16-year-old juvenile male with a Smith & Wesson M&P M2. The arrest took a tumultuous turn as officers had to maintain control while being surrounded by an increasingly encroaching crowd. Later, at approximately 5:52 p.m., officers responded to an incident involving Leland Murray, 18, who attempted to escape but was captured and found with a CZ-75D. The busy day concluded with the arrest of a 15-year-old juvenile male involved in a shooting at Harambe Park where a firearm was dropped during an attempted getaway on a malfunctioning moped. The victim in the shooting suffered non-life-threatening injuries and was transported to a local hospital. The detailed accounts of the day's arrests and seizures provide a window into the Boston Police Department's proactive stance on gun control within city limits. For more specific information about each incident and arrest, please see the official report released by the Boston Police Department. Danielle and I saw the actual gun from that first 10 a.m. arrest. Yeah, we were.
Oh my
God,
God.
where we gonna go?
We were walking down, like this was right after Juve.
Old Road, yeah.
And we were hanging out with the nice Jamaicans on the corner, waiting
Yes.
for a jerk chicken. And then all of a sudden we turn our heads and we see just the police. They was just booking down the street.
Yeah.
Booking. They came from all directions. Then they like stopped at like one of the houses and they were like surrounding something. So there was a couple of girls out there that were recording everything that happened.
Yeah.
But when I walked by, I walked to that side, I saw the gun on the sidewalk. I said, ooh.
Me too. I said, ooh, who's gun? It's a gun.
Police secure the area.
Well, I want to say shout out to BPD for releasing all of the fine officers for the weekend.
Sister, say it.
Child, if I ever wanted to commit a crime, it was this weekend because the officers was fine.
Listen, I was about to push one of them and go just start a chase.
Girl,
Everybody chased
listen,
me.
chase, run me down.
The new cohort
Yes.
of BPD.
Yes.
Ooh.
BPD.
Boston's prettiest department. Is not the women's and the men's. They was all fine.
Oh,
They was
and shout
fine.
out to our police officers who went viral dancing to the greatest bend over.
Yes, shout out to my also cousin Craig. I saw him on the road too. After I broke up a fight myself, by the way, I didn't break it up.
Handedly broke up. A
Okay,
fight.
fine. I didn't break it up. I saw these two kids, and they was all up in each other's face. One had a group of them, and one was by himself. But the one that was by himself was holding it down, like he wasn't fighting yet, but they was in each other's face. And then I don't know what it was, but he just walked away, and he kept on looking back, and I grabbed him and I said, "You're doing the right thing.
Good.
Just walk away." He was like, "Yo, those are little kids," and he's coming up to me, and he was like, I was like, I know, and it could be real frustrating, but you literally did the right thing. Walk away. And he just like walked around into the crowd because it's like he wasn't too young. He wasn't more younger. He was probably like 18. They were probably like 15.
Yeah.
But you know, like I think that if more of us got involved when we see things escalating, and just you don't have to be in the middle of the fight, you know, just kind of separate. Yeah, like hey, just hey guys,
You all right? Yeah,
everybody
yeah.
good. You know,
you
like let's just keep going. Let's keep going. It's not the time.
The thing is that these kids need to know that somebody cares too, because a lot of them think that we don't care.
Yeah.
And so it's good to you got to use your discretion with that, but it's good for these kids to know that somebody
Like
we
people
care.
are
We're
watching
looking
you.
out.
Like
Yeah.
I want him to go back and be like, yeah, I walked away from this fight, and to know that somebody saw him walk away
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
you
And gave
did
him
a
props
good
for
thing.
it.
You walked away, and that's literally the best thing that you can do.
Yeah.
Everybody's out there trying to prove a point because there's nothing else to watch, see, or do.
Yeah.
So we're all just in this big mobbed crowd, drunk and dirty and whatever. Things escalate that way. I'm
Yeah.
in street clothes. We could run the fair ones.
Yeah.
You know, like
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
just kind of we got to give people something else to do and just make sure that we're supporting them.
Yeah.
Do y'all feel like the age group of those kids carrying the guns is going lower, or is the same?
Oh, it absolutely is. It's all 15-year-olds and 16-year-olds now. And what is that? Like, what is that?
Why do you think they feel like they gotta kill people?
They feel like they got to tell. You know, like I said, we saw several fights happening at Juve, right? And we had to be like, at least they're throwing fists.
Yep.
And not throwing bullets is how Sauce put it. And I was just like, I guess, you know what I mean? And so we just gotta do a better job. Mothers, hug your sons, man. These kids are out here angry, and I understand because it's environmental. I did see some girl fights going on too. Did you see the fight where the girl hit the other girl with the Stanley Cup in the head?
Oh, you saw all this at Juve?
Yeah.
Huh?
Listen, when you sit, because like I said, Juve was dope. It was a vibe.
Yeah.
I couldn't catch it, but I saw it and I felt it. I
Yeah.
couldn't like really submerge myself into the vibe, but observing it was very wonderful as well.
Yeah, you know, I was asked last night, was Juve a vibe or was it crazy? And I said, it was both.
Yeah, it was both.
It was
both. I don't think anybody can really say anything bad about Juve because it was lit.
It was contained. People had fun. The police did their thing, and it was a few moments of sparked up, over excitement. But overall, it was a very good time. Massachusetts convicted felon facing up to 10 years in prison after numerous ghost guns seized. And look at that arsenal. A Massachusetts man has been arrested and charged with being a felon in possession of a firearm during a search of a defendant's residence. It is alleged that numerous privately made firearms, otherwise known as ghost guns, fire suppressors, 3D printers, and ammunition in varying calibers were found. According to the Massachusetts Department of Justice, 38-year-old Robert Butland is charged with being a felon in possession of a firearm. According to the charging documents, Butland has been purchasing 3D printers and firearm parts and accessories since 2022.
Get it together.
During a search executed at his residence today, law enforcement forcibly opened a locked closet that allegedly contained suspected PMFs known as ghost guns. In addition, the closet allegedly contained numerous solvent traps that are commonly used as illegal firearm suppressors. It is further alleged that the additional suspected ghost guns were recovered in nightstands, backpacks, coffee table drawers in Butland's bedroom. Firearms parts, accessories, 3D printers, a workbench, and two consistent with tools that would be required for the assembly and manufacture of firearms were also discovered. Lastly, it is alleged that the ammunition varying in calibers was recovered, including 9mm Luger ammunition, Frontier 5.56 Hornady ammunition, and 7.62 by 39mm ammunition.
Know what those are.
Child, I don't even know what those things are, but what was he preparing for? You see his arsenal?
A small war of hey, I support it.
Well, that's what it is then. This crazy story that I heard about the other day about a city worker being arrested. And here is the video. Watch the video. Shows trooper hanging out of car window before arresting city worker on weapons charges.
Let me see.
And that is his legs hanging out that window. And clearly that black Jeep license plate is 4EVS33. Wild dash cam video shows a state trooper dangling out of a vehicle after jumping inside to arrest a Boston city worker on weapons charges and assault charges. The video of the struggle recorded on July 30th arrest of Nasiru Ibrahim, 25 of Norwood, during a traffic stop in South Boston. Ibrahim, who works for the city facilities department, was stopped for allegedly having illegally tinted windows, and now his lawyer is asking why he was stopped at all. Immediately, the trooper went and said, "What's in your backpack?" which seems odd if you're stopping someone for tinted windows.
Here goes El Clipiando.
Now, state police dash cam video shows a trooper dangling out a car window. The wild encounter happening during a traffic stop in Boston. 7's Kim Lucy live in Boston with the latest details tonight. Kim.
Yes, that violent confrontation that came after a traffic stop here was caught on video. But now that man's lawyer is questioning why he was put over in the first place.
Hold on. Why?
A struggle between a Boston City employee and a Massachusetts state trooper caught on both body and dash cam video after a traffic stop on Old Colony Avenue.
You do that? No.
In the video, 25-year-old Nasiru Ibrahim, who works for the Public Facilities Department, removing graffiti. His lawyer says he was pulled over for having windows tinted too dark. Ibrahim provided his license, registration, and told the trooper he was heading home from work to pick up his daughter. The lawyer says the trooper already ran the plates on the car and it was not wanted.
But immediately the trooper went and said, "What's in your backpack?" It strikes me as odd if you're stopping someone for tinted windows. Why you're curious as to what's in his backpack.
The trooper writing in his report, which was given to us by Ibrahim's attorney, that Ibrahim appeared nervous, and as he went to reach for the bag, the trooper believed Ibrahim was going to take off, so he dove inside to stop him. The dash cam video is showing the trooper with his legs dangling out of the window.
Stop, dude. Stop. You're going to make it worse. Okay. I'm just... You're going to make it worse. Okay.
All right.
Why did he get into the... Was it that he thought that if he didn't stop this boy right now... Like, I feel like anything, if he had a gun, now would be a great time for, the gun could go off and you can get hurt. Like, we're not trained to de-escalate.
Well, I don't understand that at all. Not even de-escalate, but you're not trained to keep yourself safe.
Yeah, safety first. Like,
you have the license plate and everything. Why you do that?
You could even go to your car and do a high-speed chase instead of driving into somebody, jumping your ass into somebody's window who you suspect have a gun.
Yeah,
and of course he was scared. He's a black man. The police officer.
I'm just confused. I'm
the
actually
police officer
confused.
is black?
No,
white.
The driver.
Yeah, okay. Oh, I thought you said the police officer. Yeah, no, that's I don't believe that was safe.
Yeah, I don't believe that was safe at all.
Old boy told the officer that he was already out on pre-trial probation for a gun charge earlier this month. The officer asked, and old boy was nervous. Okay.
Ibrahim.
But still.
So, onto this, and this is going to probably a little segue. So, I've been watching online a man named Wagon Dan. He rolls around on roller skates, and he finds a cop that's doing something, and he starts to insult them and to tell them to do some work and, just kind of, whatever.
In Boston?
In Boston.
Trolling the cops.
So trolling cops. Like they can be just literally minding their business, and he'll walk up to them and just start cussing them out and all kinds of stuff. And I guess I'm confused about. We like that? Is that how we hold cops accountable? Like I'm confused about what's happening here and what direction we're going in here. Like he'll go up to them and call them like PABs and tell them to get to work and do what they gotta do, and you standing out here, go direct traffic, go do something. Like he just literally walks up to them and just starts like cussing them out or making fun of them or trolling them. So
and then that's posted online.
Videos. It's posted online, and then people seem to love.
Been?
People are like, "Yeah, get him! You so funny! You so funny! You're funny!" But in these situations, if you get mixed up with the wrong cop, and then you end up on the news, wasn't it your fault? So this is one of them here.
And every time I see you, I'm gonna call you a piece of shit, because you're a liar. Don't get in my personal space. That's what you're not gonna do. That's what you're not gonna do. You're not gonna get my personal space. That's what you're not gonna do, you dirtbag. That's what you're not gonna do. I can't be intimidated, buddy. I'm the wrong type of nigga. Wrong type of nigga. Wrong type of black.
The man is literally out there doing a detail and directing traffic, and there's this other man that is there and literally in his face and telling the officer not to get back in his face. And I'm concerned about why overwhelmingly the comments under his things were like, ha, 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 funny face, I'm crying, I'm laughing. Why are we doing this?
Is that a grown man?
It is a grown man on roller skates. Now, I don't want this to blow back on me because y'all know y'all like the trolls like to come. I don't think that this is a good thing. I think this is a very, very bad thing. It makes me very uncomfortable when police officers are just randomly out there and there's people that's coming up to them and harassing them, and for whatever reason that there is. And I'm concerned about where we're at here. Where we at? Like he usually calls them piece of S and call them lazy Fs and get up out your car. Do something.
But like, why? What is the story behind that?
I don't know. I don't know. It's definitely mental issues, but I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is, and I don't know why we like it. I don't know why anybody likes it to harass a cop.
Yeah. We're actually lucky in Boston because our cops aren't really bad.
They're not. I would have to question what the story behind that was. I don't see how it could be that somebody could just do this just to do this.
Go to his page. He literally does. Like I see him over here by B3 all the time, just kind of circling around, waiting to see a cop going to his car or eating a lunch or having a sip of coffee. Like as long as they're a cop, he goes up to them and starts harassing them and pretty much provoking them. I've seen overwhelmingly the cops either, like not laughing, but like get away from me or walking away or just standing there and letting him like literally talk to them any type of way. And
is this the guy that Mike Dees was trying to talk to?
Yes, was trying to talk, and that thing went viral too.
Yeah.
So like he was in confrontation during that video with the police, like going at the police.
Uh-huh.
And I think that's why she asked him to stop. I don't know why.
She asked Mike Dees
to stop. And then that went viral too, like she was hating. But I'm just saying, like, why get yourself involved in a situation with a cop? I don't know. Y'all doing a lot of nothing over here. It's bothering me. Possible post-negative experience with law enforcement.
That's what I'm thinking. It must have been something.
Not justify his behavior.
Yeah, so I'm thinking that it must have been some history that he has with the cops to make him want to do that, because I don't understand how that would be like. When people are thinking of becoming content creators, I don't, I know that it's good to have a different outlet or a different way of like something. You have to come up with something that's your own niche. I don't see why that would be the thing just out of nowhere to be like, oh, let me decide that I'm just going to go harass cops. It's not an excuse, but it sounds like there's some history there. That's some kind of traumatic experience.
Yeah. And even if there was, shut it down.
Robert Kraft endorses his son in Boston mayoral race. So Patriots owner Rob Kraft on Friday endorsed his son, Boston mayoral candidate Josh Kraft. You didn't speak about that thing that you went to.
Oh, so yes, in between carnival events, I did attend a prison reform civic and youth civic engagement forum called Bang the Ballot. And there was these different organizations there who deal and work with kids. And then on top of that, there was Patriots owner Robert Kraft was there and Meek Mills was there. We both know that Meek Mills and Robert Kraft are besties. And Robert Kraft is the father of Josh Kraft, who is running for mayor of Boston. So that was actually really good. It wasn't a campaign push, obviously. He is campaigning, so there was signs and stuff like that, and Josh did speak. But the overall point of the forum was to really encourage civic engagement, people going a little bit further than writing Facebook statuses, registering to vote, getting out to vote, and trying to pass rules and legislature that would help the community in any capacity. So it was really, really great. It did get a little bit heated at one point with people who felt passionately about prison reforms, but I think the way that it was handled, where Meek Mills literally like kind of got out at him and the other guy like kind of really just was straight talking about the experience in prison and the rules and regulations regarding black people in the prison system. So it was a very, very interesting and very lively forum, which was really great. Really great.
Okay.
Was it?
Okay, I'm going to read this and then I have my question. Patriots owner Robert Kraft on Friday endorsed his son, Boston mayoral candidate Josh Kraft, while speaking on a criminal justice reform panel. Josh Kraft did not share the stage with his father, but Robert Kraft said that his son's integrity and passion for Boston speak louder than any false narratives. Robert Kraft said during this race, some have tried to tie Josh to notions of entitlement or to affiliations they perceive to be negative. I hope that the voters in the city of Boston will judge him on his track record, his metrics, and not those false narratives that others have tried to push. Since the start of his mayoral campaign, Josh Kraft has sought to set himself apart from his family's privileged background, noting that he did not work for the family business or his older brothers, as his older brothers did. Josh Kraft has received campaign donations from several associates of his father, including NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell. Robert Kraft sought to portray his third son as more than just a privileged heir to his family's fortune. Robert Kraft said he should be viewed on his own as his own person. He's traveled a path that he's forged on his own. Recent polling puts Josh Kraft 30 percentage points behind incumbent Boston Mayor Michelle Wu. How do we feel that goes over with Rob Kraft endorsing his son?
I think it's it's reverse racism.
Got to endorse your son.
It's what?
He has to endorse him.
Yeah. I mean, he wouldn't not endorse him.
Does he have to endorse him?
I mean, it's a good look. It's a great look to endorse Robert Kraft endorsing for a mayor of Boston, being one of the biggest platforms here. So, good for them.
What do y'all think he should do? Rob should do if he doesn't go into what do you think Josh should do if he doesn't?
I think that Josh should also go into, it may not be mayor, but what I do feel about Josh is I feel like if he runs again, he could do some good. But I think that right now, I feel like he would have really been great as like a city council president or something like that. I don't know. I don't know. It's going to be a very, very interesting take.
He's got, I think his philanthropic efforts have been really, really good for the city and for not just the city, but for the state. And I think that is a very good lane for him to thrive in. And so if it is, as a result, he does not win this mayoral election, I think that he should, continue in those areas.
Yeah.
And I think that he'll have a very great impact in those areas.
I agree.
What else? MBTA late night service rolls out on Sunday evening. So it started yesterday, the late night service on the MBTA. Late night service on the MTA begins on Sunday night in Boston with the subways and some bus routes running about an hour later than usual. The late night service will run on Friday and Saturday nights on all of the subway lines, plus some bus routes, 1, 22, 39, 66, 110, SL1, SL3, and SL5. Routes 23, 28, 57, 111, and 116 bus lines will also have an extra hour of service every night of the week. Very nice. MBTA General Manager Philip Eng, we got to get him in there, said extending service at night will help businesses and people who work late. Other T-riders who spoke with WBZ TV earlier in the month said it could also improve nightlife in the city. The MBTA tried extending weekend service back in 2014, but got rid of it less than 2 years later, citing costs and lack of ridership. We have been advocating for late night service for the better part of the decade, said Caitlin Allen Connolly of advocacy group Transit Matters. We believe that extending the hours isn't just about convenience, but it's about building the kind of reliable, affordable transit system our region needs. So that's very good. Good for the tea. Yesterday, I walked home from Coulafet, and it was a nice walk. And as I was walking, I met many neighbors. And I found a lady that I was walking with. She had on a winter coat and a Target bag and some flip-flops.
Not a winter coat, Target bag, and some flip-flops.
And I was walking with her, and she was behind me at first, and then she was out, and I was chasing her down the street to be like, we are walking together. We are walking together.
Don't you leave me.
She was out. When we hit Blue Hill Ave, she disappeared. I don't know where she went. But, I mean, I say all of that to say I wish there was a free bus going down Talbot because I would have gotten on that instead of walking and chasing this woman down the street.
You could have gone on that thing and just tell them you going up the street.
I know, but there wasn't no bus. No bus came.
Boy,
No bus
I
came
tell
while
you.
I was walking down Talbot at all. So where's the extended service? And then to end on a happy note, legendary Skippy White continues to embrace soul and R&B with the Big Show, and the Big Show is going to be going down, I believe, this weekend. So a night of honor to honor old school Motown classics, R&B, and soul is happening at the Strand Theater in Dorchester on Saturday night, thanks to the local legend Fred LeBlanc, also known as Skippy White. This is going to be a night to remember, White said. White has been a staple in the Boston music scene for years. The former WILD AM disc jockey and owner of Skippy White's Records franchise says he is still finding ways to share his love of rhythm and blues and soul with the people of Massachusetts. I love the classic R&B, so therefore I want people to be able to enjoy it, to be able to come and see these acts while they're still here, and it's something that does my heart good.
Show coming up Saturday, August 23rd, 7 p.m. at the historic Strand Theater in Boston. What a great lineup you got there. Oh, that's 10.
It just passed.
It just passed?
Oh, we missed it.
I wanted to go to that.
Oh.
It was on Carnival Day.
Oh, wow.
We got to get Skippy White up here, man.
White soul. Oh, Skippy White sold soul, gospel, and R&B CDs in Boston for more than 6 decades. He says what he misses most about his stores are the people. Everybody that came in, I would greet and talk to them and get to know them. And so people grew up with me in the record store, White remarked. I mean, I had people that started out coming in my store when they were 8 and 10 years old and 12 years old. And I watched them grow up and eventually get gray hair. Last year, White organized a blues and soul review at Medford's Chevalier Theater, which drew nearly 2,000 people to Medford. This year, he is able to pay tribute to acts like the Temptations, Diana Ross, and the Supremes, and the new Stylistics at the Strand Theater in Dorchester with the Big Show, Skippy White's tribute to the WILD DJs. I think this is the place to have a show like this, Mr. White said. Don't forget, coming up this week, people, also is the Kitties fashion show at the Strand Theater. When is that, the 28th?
The 28th.
The 28th. That is by Miss Chic and Parties from Above. Information about that can be found on our social media pages. And that is the local news. That's the local news. And it's 11:30. We got to go.
We've got to go.
Yeah.
We have got to go. But thank you guys for joining us. Have a good day. Have a good night. Be blessed. Be black. Be beautiful. See what I did there?
And if you're not
black, shout out to the Cambridge block party. Everybody gotta eat. I heard that was absolutely nuts yesterday. Really, really great turnout. It looks like they did a good job out there. Shout outs to them.
Good job. Everybody gotta eat. Because everybody gotta eat.
Everybody gotta eat in so many different ways. You
Yeah.
know? All right.
Wow.
Bye.
You're listening to Saucy and Friends in the morning with Miss Hot Sauce, Miss Tony, and Rockstone Triz.
What is this, Doctor? This is.
Well, Spark